In a dramatic turn of events, the White House's entreaty for foreign aid found itself ensnared in the labyrinthine corridors of Congress. The initial plea, dispatched to Capitol Hill in October, languished for months, casting a shadow over Ukraine's embattled forces. These protracted delays, officials assert, inflicted grievous wounds on the Ukrainian military, leaving them vulnerable on the front lines. With an air of urgency, President Biden vowed to expedite the process. "We shall move swiftly," he declared, his words echoing through the hallowed halls of power. Within mere hours, the United States would dispatch a formidable arsenal of weapons and equipment to bolster Ukraine's defense. Yet, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a Russian missile pierced the tranquility of Ukraine's central Cherkasy region. The governor, his voice laden with concern, reported the grim aftermath. Critical infrastructure lay in ruins, and 6 lives hung in the balance. The city of Smyla bore the brunt, its civilian and railway networks shattered by the malevolent strike. Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson Ilya Yevlash, his countenance grim, confirmed the use of an Iskander-K missile, a harbinger of destruction. The blast wave reverberated across the landscape, leaving 47 private residences scarred and windows shattered in a residential high-rise. Governor Iyer Tabarets, communicating via the Telegram messaging app, painted a somber picture of the aftermath. Emergency services scrambled to contain the chaos, while Ukraine's air defenses valiantly thwarted further aerial aggression. This latest assault followed a pattern. Just weeks prior, Russian forces had inflicted damage upon railway infrastructure in the Dnipro region, as reported by Ukraine's national railways. The echoes of conflict reverberated, leaving scars etched upon the land. Meanwhile, the world turned its gaze toward Ukraine's plight. The Today in Focus podcast dissected the nation's struggle, probing for answers. Guardian's defense editor, Dan Sabah, engaged in a riveting conversation with Michael Safi. Their discourse centered on the pivotal moment when the U.S. Congress finally greenlit a staggering $61 billion military aid package for Ukraine. The stakes were high, and the outcome would shape the course of war. But Ukraine's story was not confined to its borders. President Volodymyr Zelensky met with UK Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt in Kyiv, urging stronger sanctions against Russia. The Telegram app bore witness to Zelensky's gratitude for the UK's commitment, a new £500 million uplift in defense support. The message was clear. Circumventing sanctions was no longer an option. Across the geopolitical fault lines, Poland stood sentinel. Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski stepped onto the parliamentary stage, his words resonating with gravity. War raged beyond the border, and Poland's role was pivotal. As a NATO and European Union member, it straddled the eastern flank, sharing borders with Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. A conduit for Western weaponry, Poland's foreign policy had shifted, a new era dawned. Sikorski's speech would echo through history, underscoring the gravity of this moment. The world listened, and within the nation of 38 million, hope and uncertainty danced on the precipice. In a geopolitical ballet, Warsaw unfurls its banner of solidarity, casting a resolute gaze toward Ukraine. The clarion call echoes, "We stand with you." Beneath the weight of conflict, Poland's vision crystallizes, a beacon of hope for a nation embroiled in strife. The canvas is vast, and the brushstrokes deliberate. Emmanuel Macron, France's helmsman, treads a similar path. Once criticized for perceived conciliation with Russia, he now steels his resolve. The winds of change have swept him toward a firmer stance, a recalibration that mirrors Poland's unwavering commitment. Across the Atlantic, Joe Biden's signature etches history. A bill, laden with $61 billion in foreign aid, hurtles toward Ukraine. The bipartisan triumph reverberates, a symphony of goodwill in a fractured world. For Kyiv, it's a lifeline, an armor against Russian encroachment. Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's steadfast leader, meets Jeremy Hunt on Kyiv's hallowed ground. Their discourse orbits sanctions, a plea for Russia's restraint. The stakes are high, and the clock ticks relentlessly. Yet, in the heart of Cherkasy, destruction unfolds. A Russian missile rends critical infrastructure, leaving 6 souls wounded. The air defenses roar, a valiant shield against aerial aggression. Emergency services toil amidst the debris, their resolve unyielding. And in Moscow's shadow, a bribery saga unfolds. Timur Ivanov, deputy defense minister, stands accused. Alexander Fomin, co-founder of Olympsitestroy, dances on the precipice. Bribes exchanged, allegiances tested, the court's gavel falls. Poland's speech resounds, a clarion call across borders. A nation perched on the fault lines, its destiny entwined with Europe's tapestry. As war rages, Poland's compass points true, a sentinel guarding the gates of history.